guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm still here in San Diego for the first drive of this vehicle that's right next to me. What is it? It's that iconic nameplate known as the Camry. So this is your 2025 redesigned Toyota Camry. This particular one is the SE trim, and it's also featured in one of my favorite colors from Toyota, Underground. But before we get into this sporty spec, lower grade level of a Camry, let's talk about what's going on here. Akio Toyoda really called it, and he's laughing all the way to the bank. When all these other brands were rushing with their hair on fire towards electrification, pure BEVs, battery electric vehicles, he knew that that was not the right way to go. And it's interesting because, remember, Toyota's been no stranger to electrified vehicles. They've been there since day one with the Prius and that hybrid technology. Now what they're doing is they're bringing hybrid technology across their lineup. With the Camry, gone is the V6. Gone is the straight four, the inline four. What you have is hybrid power, an inline four paired with electric motors. Now what's also great is you could get your Camry any grade, LE all the way up to XLE, front wheel drive or all wheel drive. So what I want to find out is if you're looking for a sedan, do you want to go with that new Prius? It's pretty sporty looking. Or do you go with the SE trim of the Camry if you're trying to get more bang for your buck? Let's go ahead. Let's dive into our underground colored Camry SE and find out. Right off the bat, the color looks fantastic on the new Camry. I saw this color 2 years ago on the previous gen Camry, and it looked just as good. Up front, you are gonna get your LED projector beam headlight. Where the difference is gonna be the lighting for your turn signals, and that is separate from the higher grade XSE. You do have your daytime running lamps and everything else nicely nestled in this headlight housing. Working your way down, we have functional, not fake, functional air curtains. I like on the SE, you get flat black, and it works well, I think, with the Underground. You even have these dive planes, these splitter extensions that stick out for more aerodynamic efficiency, and you even have the canard on the side as it curves up. When we come across that low slung nose, this is the new face of the Camry. One of the differences with the SE is you don't get a forward-facing camera, but you do have the functionality up top. And it's interesting because this part looks like the nose off the Prius, but once you get down below, you get that large lower mouth grille. Now, on the SE trim, it's all flat black. And I'm digging it, especially, like I said, with the Underground color, which is body color match on that lower lip. But let me know which face of a Toyota hybrid you like more. Do you like the Prius or do you like the face of this Camry? Now, as you glide up, you'll notice that nice rise in the front fascia, and then the indentations on both sides of the hood give it those characteristic body lines that you're finding on more and more Toyota vehicles. Prius has similar body lines, just like this Camry. Now, as we swing it around wide and we check out wheels and tires, this is what you get on the SE. So it's gloss black, V-spoke design. If you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this wheel? 18-inch wheel. Tires are 235 on the width, 45 series sidewall. And remember, you could get this front-wheel drive, like ours is, or you could get it all-wheel drive. It doesn't matter what trim it is. But definitely let me know if you like the wheel design and the color with the Underground. I think it's working just fine. Now, as we come down the rest of the vehicle, color match on the mirror caps. You have your LED turn signals and a little bit of chrome. I don't know why they put the chrome in there, so I am gonna zonk that, but look at this. Even with it being an SE trim, because remember the trims, it's real simple. LE, SE, XLE, and then XSE. There's only 4 trims. So this is second from the bottom. You're getting a standard size sunroof. So nice standard size sunroof up top. I also like the way around the window openings. It's all flat black. You do have color match on the door handles. And then I really am digging the style of that side skirt extension. Now we keep working our way back. I am gonna have to zonk this. I don't know why they decided to put gloss black here. It would have been nice to extend the rear glass just to make it look a little bit nicer. This is going to get scratched to high heaven as you're cleaning it and stuff. When you swing it around back, what do we got going on? Color match, trunklet spoiler. Really, really nicely done on the SE. And then I like the way they take the Camry name and they blend it into the trim. Nice setup. And then you'll notice we have LED lighting, but on the SE, to help cut costs, they do have the old-fashioned Thomas Edison light bulbs. Let me know if you think that should be a zonk. Remember, we're trying to talk about value, and that's one way. Wait until you hear the price. That's one way to try to keep the price down. Now, as we kind of drop down to ground level, you do have your SE badge and your HEV badge, Honda, what the hell am I saying? Hybrid electric vehicle. This isn't a Honda, I promise. It's a Toyota. And then I like the way they did the rear diffuser, flat black, and you're still gonna get, even though this is a hybrid, you're still gonna get your staggered tip exhaust, stainless steel tips. Love the way they do that on these SE and XSE trims. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see how this compares to the mighty Prius. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. I'm gonna let it slide at this price point. Underneath the hood, there is that tried and true engine. That's your 2.5 liter naturally aspirated inline four, but guess what? It's paired to the new generation, the 5th generation of hybrid technology from Toyota. So that means with the front wheel drive setup, you're gonna get 225 horsepower when it's paired with the electric motor. If you go all-wheel drive, it's gonna be 232 horsepower. It is paired to a CVT, but here's where you're really gonna come out on top. Are you ready for this? Even though this is a mid-size sedan, 48 MPGs in the city, 47 on the highway. And then of course, when you're looking at LE, which is your base trim, 53 in the city, 50 on the highway. So nice to see amazing MPGs. And this is what Akio Toyota is talking about. There's still a lot of great efficiency that could be done with the hybrid power plant. And hey, the proof is in the eating of the pudding, right? But why don't we go ahead, let's turn this thing on and see it roll. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Toyota Camry SE trim. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, thank God you are bringing this review because I am about to pull the trigger on a Prius, but you know what? I think I may need the extra room, but I don't know how much the new Camry costs. Very good question. Thank God you waited because I have the information for you now. MSRP on an SE starts at $30,000, if you could believe that. This one is optioned to $33,700. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. So you're gonna get soft touch material up top, and then you see that gray finish? That's sort of like a cloth style material. It's actually working for me, and that is one of the major differences you'll see in the different grades of the Camry is that material. The armrest is Rubbermaid, so I am gonna zonk that, not the most comfortable, but you don't have any gloss black around the switchgear, and you'll notice that the door pocket is decent for a open face sandwich and a nice bottle of root beer to wash it down. Now, when you go from the door panel to the dash, every Camry has this gloss black trim. The good news is you're not gonna touch it. There's no reason to touch it unless you just wanna be that jerk that messes up the inside of your friend's Camry. There's more of that cloth finish, but like I said, it's working in here just fine. Slide on in, even on the SE trim, this particular one, we have the 12.3-inch infotainment system, has, of course, the multimedia software that is over-the-air updates. You got full control of your AC, throw it into reverse. Backup camera is a little on the smaller side. It doesn't take up all 12.3 inches, but the resolution is really nice. They definitely upgraded that. And you have your trajectory. And we're right back where we started. Real volume knob, toggle switches for your dual climate control, 3 stages of heated seats. And one thing I want to point out is, if you notice, they don't put a dead button for the ventilated seats. Where you get the ventilated seats on the XSE, they actually extend the LED display, which is very smart, so it doesn't cheapen the inside. You even have a heated steering wheel, 2 stages of that right there. You're nicely molded in AC vents. And then down below, we do get wireless charging, USB-A to USB-Cs, a place where you could put easily, I would say, $400,000. No, not $400,000 cash, 400 grand bars. Easily put that there. This is going to control your CVT. You got your 2 cup holders, your 3 modes, and then soft material on the armrest. Open this up, you got a 12 volt, and you have enough room in here, I would say, for an Entenmann's bun cake. You know, I remember every time I used to go visit my grandmother, she always loved the Entenmann's bun cakes. So it would be perfect just to have the Entenmann's bun cake in there. She used to love to have that with some coffee in the morning. And you know what? I think that's one of the reasons why she lived to 91, is because of the Entenmann's bun cake. So make sure you're eating your Entenmann's bun cakes. Seats, the soft-tex material with the same type of cloth as on the door panels. I like the white trim that they add. Nice, soft bolstering. Manual adjustments for the passenger, but guess what? In this SE trim, I have 8-way power adjustable seats on my side, and you have a nice standard size sunroof. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the new wheel in the new Camry. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do get the sport aluminum pedal, since this is an SE, aluminum brake pedal, throttle. I just wish they would give me an aluminum dead pedal, which would be really nice. So I am going to zonk that. You do have your seat controls, real easy to get through and to control, even the lower lumbar. I'm 6 feet tall. I feel freaking fantastic sitting in this Camry. Definitely a lot more room than the Prius. Steering wheel, the leather. I love the white contrast stitching. Flat black on the switch gear. Horn button is looking a little bit better. You do have paddles to go through simulated gears. And it is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then for the dash, instead of a 12.3-inch display, which you get on the higher grades, that is a 7-inch digital display. You have your different modes. And the gauge cluster does change colors, which is nice. So I'm in sport. You go eco, it gets a little green. And then we go normal is blue. Other than that, you have digital readouts for your fuel and your coolant. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat and see if your passengers are going to be happy in a Camry or happier in a Prius. All right, guys, back seat time, and we got a zonk. What is this? Different material. This is just hard plastic, especially this gray. Up front, it's that gray cloth material. This, it's just not working. You could tell where they were just like, let's just put this here, it costs less. But as you come on in, you do get pockets behind both seats. You could easily put, I would say, 4 travel games in here. You could do Connect 4, you could do Battleship, you could do Operation, and Life. The one game I would not recommend playing with anybody that you care about is Monopoly. That is the game of the devil. As you slide on in, you do have your 2 AC vents. And we're going to help Steven remember. Down below, we got a USB-A and a USB-C. So very nicely done. Just so you know, if you go all-wheel drive, it is an electric motor out back driving the rear wheels. This is front-wheel drive, so we don't have to worry about that. But I just want to point it out. I like to bring you as much information as I can. 6 feet tall back here, feeling good. You do get a nice bounce house soft armrest, 2 cup holders. And I am glad that they did the same style to the rear seats as the front. It's just the door panel. What'd they do? Why'd they do that? Let's get into the trunk, though. I want to see how much stuff. Lots of people today have so much stuff. Let's see how much of it we could put in the trunk of this Camry. All right, guys, time to get in the trunk. Now, remember, the Prius has that cool, sleek hatchback style. This has a traditional trunk, but I think you're going to be blown away by how much room there is. Over 15 cubic feet of space. Of course, the seats fold 60-40 split. You do have the pull handles here to get that job done. And then you could easily put 3 boxes of Twinkies on both sides. Plus you have a spare underneath. and you have that lithium-ion battery pack. But why don't we go ahead, let's see if we can make it to Tijuana and hypermile all the way there in this Camry SE. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Toyota Camry SE trim. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the sport button. That's gonna put us into sport mode, quicken up the steering, the throttle sensitivity, and everything in between. But right away, what you're gonna find is with this all new Camry is that the chassis is more rigid. So it's cutting out the noise and vibration harshness. You're also gonna find that even on this road that is not smooth whatsoever, but it is paved, you're getting good feedback and good overall feel behind the wheel. It's not shaking me around, and my internal organs aren't bouncing around. My spleen is still in my body, and yet I'm still able to drive with confidence and feel good about what my inputs are doing with the steering wheel, with the brakes, and how the car is handling. And remember, our example is front wheel drive. But with the electric motor, you're definitely getting some good power. Decent power, of course. I mean, we're not talking about super high horsepower here, but it definitely, with the electric motor, you have that torque right when you need it as you're coming out of a bend, and it's right there nice and low in the rev range, of course. But the fuel economy is where you're gonna win the race, because you're just gonna keep going and going and going and not having to stop for fuel all the time. But really glad to find this road and to show you what type of handling characteristics this new Camry features. You know, the way that they redesigned the seat frames, the seat cushions, there's not a lot of bolstering, of course, but you know, that's not what this car is about. But even on this twisty road, I'm feeling good. I feel like it's responding nicely. On previous generation Camrys, there used to be a lot of numbness in the wheel. Used to be a little bland. Now, I'm getting better feedback. Is it as good as an Accord? No. But it is definitely better than the Prius, I think. I think this Camry is doing the business, especially this SE trim, very, very well. I mean, look at this. This is the type of stuff that I just love to do, no matter what car we're in. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of glad I'm in this Camry because, like I said, it's not the smoothest of roads, but I'm able to show you that even in front-wheel drive mode, this thing is actually very, very responsive. Not a lot of body roll. Remember, we are in the sport trim. If you go LE or definitely XLE, you're going to get a little bit more comfort setup in the suspension. But really, really good on this SE trim. I just love having fun on these twisty bits. I mean, this is the kind of stuff I see in my dreams. Especially out here in the middle of nowhere. It's just really, really nice. They also worked on the sound deadening. I mean, you're not getting as much wind noise as you used to get in the past. And, but boy, these seats are just really, really comfy. All right, guys, I figured I'd do an on throttle from a dead stop. I'm going to leave traction control on just because it is front wheel drive and I don't want to just sit here and spin the front tires. But you'll see with the electric motor, that instant oomph from the motor really gets you going at first. So if you're ready, I'm ready, sport mode, on throttle, here we go. So with the traction control on, it did a pretty darn good job with getting the power to the ground. And then, like I said, the steering is what's so different. And it's not just that they changed the steering rack. They went ahead and obviously made changes to the frame. The shock absorbers are all new to give you better damping all four corners. I mean, look at this. A Camry should not drive like this. And of course, I think what you're gonna find too is that because it's a hybrid, that battery pack actually helps lower our center of gravity. But it's actually more responsive than the Prius. And I'm not talking about Prius Prime. I'm just talking about standard Prius. Prius Prime is a different story. But this, compared to the standard Prius, is definitely more responsive, especially on the brakes. I'm glad that there's no regen braking. It allows you to just be really connected with what the vehicle is doing and the feedback that it's providing. Nice. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love this road. It's like one mistake and you're going over the side. But we're not going to do that. Don't worry about that. It's a lot of fun. And I just, like I said, I want to show it all. Obviously, a lot of people are not going to drive their Camry like this, but I just want to show you what's capable. I mean, that's... Sometimes if I'm in the proper environment and I could do it, I want to do it for you. But yeah, a lot of fun and a lot of great comfort. And like I said, you got the sportier style with the SE. And I'm just very curious to see if you like the flat black finish better than the body color grille on the XSE. But let's get out onto this open road here, see how the SE does. I think you're gonna find that the way that they work the suspension, you could have that sportiness, but yet you could also have the comfort as well on the open road. And that's important because when you think about the range of this vehicle at 48 miles to the gallon, I mean, that's crazy for a mid-size sedan. But that's what Toyota's bringing. That's what they're doing. Great visibility out the front. You got the all-new Toyota Sensing 3.0 technology. And with the way that this one is optioned, it's kind of nice to have the sunroof. It's nice to have the 12.3-inch screen. And you're still keeping the price under $35,000. That's less than what the SE was going for last year. So just something to think about. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of the Camry SE trim front-wheel drive. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a nanosecond. All right, guys, been another great day out here in San Diego. Definitely gotta thank the whole Toyota team getting us access to this Camry SE. Let me know what you think. Is the Camry the hybrid vehicle of choice for you over the Prius? Even though the Prius has gotten pretty darn good looking, let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile for coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Of course, we need to thank the man with the hat on. Who the hell's that? Stephen Flood, working that camera like the champ that he is. Show him some love in the comment section. Stephen, thank you for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.